This pond smells really good. So we are in Warrensburg, Missouri today, which is a little bit far from our stomping grounds, but we are back here to work on a project that we helped renovate last year. The homeowner had an existing pond that he had the builder of the house kind of dig out for him whenever he was having the house constructed, and then he went about getting the liner, getting everything rocked in, and it was just kind of struggling. He was having some issues with the water quality and a lot of algae issues. He added a bog last year, and we added an additional biofalls as well as a skimmer. And then now we are expanding the pond on this side over here, and we are going to add an intake bay as well as another waterfall just to give it some circulation. So we're going to be taking apart the edge of the existing pond, seaming on a new piece of liner to connect it, and then building out into the rest of this area over here. Got a lot to do here. Our excavator and our machines are getting dropped off right now, and we're gonna get rocking and rolling. All right, so we are getting all the gravel scraped up from the original rock bed here, and we are running into a little bit of the issue that we had last go around out here, and that is the soil is just so full of clay and rock that it does not hold any water. So we had a fair amount of rain here yesterday and some more overnight, and we just have tons of groundwater seeping out of the ground. So this is going to be fun for excavation because we're going to have water constantly pouring back out into our excavation. So it's just going to be an ongoing battle of pumping things out and trying to keep things as dry as possible. So we have the general layout and shape of our water feature now. This is a 12 by 16 pond. We're going to connect it to the original pond over here on this side. We will have a waterfall spillway back in this corner that will feed off of the skimmer over here. And then we will have an intake bay over here in this corner that will actually feed all the way over to the bog on the other side. That way we get good circulation all the way across the pond and additional filtration with the intake bay, as well as ease for the homeowner to be able to have a collection point for the leaves, especially in the fall when we have a lot more coming down. Well, it is getting ready to storm here, but I want to show you where we got to today. We have most of our excavation done. We are to our depth here, and then we have a little bit of cleaning up with the shelves, and the intake bay will be right over here. So obviously I have to clean that up and kind of form out the area where it kind of sits down into there. But things went pretty well. We ran into quite a bit of rock as we started to get down there. So you can see over there, it's just a bunch of this little junk rock that's just packed in between all the dirt everywhere. So it makes it really hard to dig and really hard to make clean shelves. So we are back, and it rained quite a bit over the night, so things are a lot muddier today. We were able to get the whole wall pumped out, and now we are working on getting the last couple rocks taken out over here so we can seam together the two pieces of liner. And then we are going to work on getting everything else cleaned up around our shelves, and hopefully this pond all lined and rocked in by the end of the day. Alright, so we have our liner seam together now, and the way we go about this is we use a two-sided seam tape that goes in between the two liners, and along with the primer glue provided by the manufacturer. It fuses the two of them together. And then after that we use our cover tape, also with the same primer and glue, to seal over the top of that, just so we have extra assurance that we made a good seal. So now these two liners are one, and we can connect our ponds and start rocking everything in. Alright, so we are rocking in the pond here, and we're setting a lot of our big stones on the bottom as our anchor rocks. This pond is a little bit deeper than normal. It's about 28 inches. It's really about all the farther we were able to dig down in this soil. So that's what we went for. Something that's different than normal is this machine we have here. While it is very helpful and great, it is a little smaller than the one that we normally use. This is all I had available for the foreseeable future down here, so had to make do with what we have. So what we're doing is actually rocking in this side of the pond first over here, and then I've got the liner that goes all the way back underneath here, just rolled up and protected with underlayment and this piece of plywood here to make sure that it doesn't get damaged while we're doing this. But this allows us to build our far side first, and then we'll pull everything back, kind of reshape this out right here, and then rock in this side of the pond. All right, we are finishing up here for day 2, and we made a lot of progress today. We have the two liners seamed together, so everything is now one. And we got the majority of our pond rocked in. We have a lot of the gravel spread around. We have our power head installed in the bottom of the pond. And tomorrow we should be able to button up rocking in the rest of the pond and at least getting a good portion of our waterfall built. So that's all for day 2. We will see you guys right now. All right, it is day 3. We are back. It is hot. Luckily, we didn't get any rain last night, so things will be slightly drier than they were yesterday. It's time to get this pond finished. Then we're gonna work on the intake bay, hopefully get that all done, and then we'll have everything back up and running as far as the original waterfalls go at that point. And then hopefully tomorrow, we'll just be working on the new waterfall going over on this side of the water feature. All right, so we have a little ways to go here today with rocking in the pond. We're gonna be working on some steps over here for a real easy entry to this area over here where the homeowner is going to set up a chair and kind of use it as a waiting area just to kind of hang out and relax. And then after that, we want to get all of our rocks set around the rest of the pond, work our way back this way here, build our intake bay right here, and then get our plumbing all hooked back up to the far side, going all the way over to the bog on that side of the waterfall. All right, it has been a hot one today, and we are finishing up. It's Jordan's birthday, so we're gonna get him home so he can eat some Olive Garden. Anyway, we got our intake bay pretty well in. All the structure part to it is done. We got gravel over the top of it. We have some rocks to place and a little ways to go on it, but all of that is shaped out. We're pretty well finished with the majority of our pond. Tomorrow we'll get the intake bay done, we'll get the waterfall done, get this thing all cleaned up, put back together, and running and looking awesome. So we're just gonna get out of here because it is hot. I will see you tomorrow. Today is the last day here. We're gonna get everything all wrapped up with our intake bay, set the final rocks around the edge of the pond and any other outcroppings we need to do. And then we're gonna get the waterfall all constructed, everything all put back together and looking awesome. All right, so here's our whole setup with the intake bay here. Our pond level is not quite all the way up yet because we need to finish building our waterfall over here, but we're starting to get everything buttoned up around here. And basically, we are trying to create a skimming action for surface debris to pick up over in this area. And what's gonna happen is we have a pump at the bottom below some aqua blocks here. The vault is actually right over there. The aqua blocks are in this area with a little bit of gravel on them, and the water is gonna pull in through this area and then kind of go down through the gravel in this cove. Now, during the fall, whenever we're having a lot of leaves dropping in the pond and everything, this will enable the leaves to pull into this little cove, and they're just gonna float here in the water. So they'll be very easy to just scoop out with a net rather than changing your skimmer basket 20, 25 times over the course of a week. So we are just cruising along here trying to get things all wrapped up, and one of the last things that's really nice to add that we don't always get to do are some plants. So we have just a few plants just to kind of soften up some of the edges and just to kind of naturalize everything and make it look a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Natural. We're about to get out of here, but before we go, I'm gonna take you around and show you a little bit of everything, including the existing water feature, just to give you an idea of how it all ties together. Finally, we are complete. So everything is all put back together. Plants are planted, lights are hooked up, everything's mulched, cleaned up, and we're getting ready to get out of here. Water is still filling up because this pond is huge. Well, pretty large at least, and it's got a little ways to go. Homeowners are gonna take care of that overnight, but our work here is done. As always, if you like what you see here, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video.